What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Monday, buddy. How was the weekend?
Oh, a lot of stuff has been happening, actually. Trying to catch up on what happened since Friday evening. It's a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Lots going on. Just like our main mission charity stream is coming up on April 2nd, Scott. Everybody can go over to mainmission.ca and support a great cause. Also, this week, Scott, are you ready? We are giving away an Elden Ring code. 2 of them for PlayStation. You want a chance to win on that? Well, then all you have to do is go to our Twitter, follow us over at the official ITG, and hashtag Elden Ring and include a friend. Scott, pretty simple. And by the end of the weekend, we'll announce 2 lucky winners. Not a bad deal.
Nice.
Not bad.
Oh,
at
no,
all.
not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can join in the discussion online because it rages.
Man, there's a lot going on, right? Just like today's show, where you can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official. You can't join us live? Hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, for today's show, though, rumors continue with GTA 6. The latest is just how big the map could really be. Boy, does it look big, Scott, if that's true. Pokemon Presents gives us the latest for Pokemon's future, and Steam would be interested in bringing over Xbox Game Pass. Really?
Hey, play anywhere.
Right? You think that'd be really appealing to Xbox, I gotta be honest. But let's move into the world of GTA 6 map hints revealed by 2K Interactive Patent. This comes from Jarrett over at Game Ranks. GTA 6 active development announcement revealed that the game was, quote, far along, end quote, in its development cycle, giving fans hope they may see more news on the title in the near future. To that end, recently a Reddit user named Corey LVV created a post talking about a patent created by Take-Two that seems to point towards the possibility of an unbelievably large map of Grand Theft Auto 6. Scott, if this map is true, dude, this is like 3 times the size of GTA 5.
Holy, GTA 5 was a big map just to start with.
Yeah, does
you
that make
compare
you
that
nervous?
to GTA 4 and it goes like getting that ballooning a second time is really ambitious, I think.
Absolutely. You think over the past we've seen maps go from 1 scale to like double, right? And then each game just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, Scott. And it kind of makes me question, is it just too big? Maybe some things are just left alone, man. Leave it smaller. I'll never finish the game. You'll never see it all.
Well, it's kind of funny because the first time that ever happened to me was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
When you zoom out on the map for the first time and you go, holy, maybe this is
so big.
The entire eastern seaboard kind of seems extreme, but every game is just kind of stretching the limit nowadays. So to see Grand Theft Auto go that big, where do you go after that?
Well, I kind of wonder though, Scott, because it's been so long now since we've all been playing GTA 5 and online, right? That has been around now for almost a decade, I think, at this point, right? 3 generations, Scott, is where we're heading into now. So they kind of wonder if they're looking long term, right? If they're going, maybe we can pull this off again, maybe even stretch it longer. So what do? Let's make the map even bigger, have more of a playground to play in. And that way you're not so constricted after years of playing the same map over and over. GTA, dude, online is still the same map. It's not like we see a Battle Royale, right? Battle Royale right now, especially with Fortnite, flipped the map genre kind of thing on its head every once in a while. Boom, new section of the map changes, another section of the map changes. They just flip the map completely upside down.
That was the best way to do it.
Right?
I think that has to be the ultimate because something like that would really work well in Grand Theft Auto because there's a cajillion people on it and it's been 10 years in this case. But if that was just built into the GTA 6, that could be one of those games as service. Talk about games as service.
Absolutely. And if you make it through, 3 times the size of GTA 5, That would be just so much room to play with, and with moving into next gen consoles, even here's the thing: when Rockstar works on a game, they launch console first and then Steam after that, which is kind of a backward system when it comes to most, right? We see a lot of them land
Yeah.
over on the world of PC and then make their way to consoles. We talk about it all the time. Now on console, this, that, and the other, right? The other way around for Rockstar is that they're heavily focused on consoles. So they give us the ability then to get into the game and then just, man, make subtle changes. But if you have something so big, maybe it kind of slows the process down and go, we don't have to change anything because it's going to take people years to see it all anyways because
That's
it's so
true.
big. Yeah. So
Yeah, that is quite possible. I'm wondering if we'll ever see a Grand Theft Auto map as big as Battlefield 19 or 2042 maps. I don't know if there's anything as big as that.
I don't know, but we'll see. But are you hopeful for GTA 6? Do you think we'll see anything from it this year?
I don't think this year. No,
I don't
I
think so
would
either.
suspect next year we might see something kind of around the story elements. Maybe we meet one of the characters or something like that.
Yep.
But uh, being far along in development is so ambiguous that I really don't think there's much to show.
No, for sure. As Corey LVV states, the patent seems to be for an in-game system that would swap players from one session to another without having to experience one Grand Theft Auto's dreaded loading screens. That would be nice, which have been known to last for a very long time. Along with reducing load time significantly, the patent also implies that there will be a massive area for players to explore, considering they'll need to swap between zones. This rumor could potentially lead to GTA 6 being another immigrant story, as multiple massive areas could coincide with multiple states or even countries for players to
Oh,
explore. You gotta be kidding me, Scott. But
holy! Are they going the route of Far Cry now? We're getting into
uh,
warring factions and different
uh,
governments. And there's a
maybe
lot that could be extracted out of that. This
do
is
they
all
go
just
political?
that would be interesting, but I don't think they could do it in a serious manner,
Yeah, I don't
which would
think so
just
either.
make for really good gameplay.
Well, Scott, what?
Imagine, Prime Minister Laszlo.
Oh,
It could get good.
it could. But we were talking about large maps. Just recently, you and I played Elden Ring, right? And then we just live
Yeah.
streamed it. Within the live stream, Scott, you went into a dungeon that took you below grounds, but it was so big below ground, it was like a whole other map within itself,
Yeah,
right?
there was something strange about that one. There was stars in the sky underground. It,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was that big.
It was massive, but it has the ability to scale itself, right? Going from a massive map as it already was, then you go underground, and then you're into a whole other massive area. And so GTA, like the future of GTA 6, really has me excited and kind of going, man, but is too big, right? How big do you go with going? No one is ever gonna make it to this corner of the map, or will
Oh,
they?
it's gonna it probably adds, just huge amount of development time. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, just like you said, does anybody notice? Or if there's that big of a space, is that going to introduce some sort of technical issues? People disconnecting. It's already hard to get on a server
Oh.
together.
That's for sure. Scott, over the weekend, there was a Pokemon Presents. I'm going to let you roll with this one. This is all you.
Yes, this one was big news if you're a fan of Nintendo and Pokemon. Let's just say that.
Sure.
It was a 14-minute video, which I thought initially, well, that's kind of short. What are they going to show off? But they went through just about every single Pokemon title there is right now,
Wow.
and then a few. So we begin with the Pokemon Go update. They're adding Alola region Pokemon. So that's from Sun and Moon. They're now finally in the game on March 1st. And until then, they've added a couple different regional variants, like Executor. That's just a really well known Pokemon from there. Let me tell you, Drew, it is.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
We have Pokemon Masters X is now 2.5 years old. Now that's a mobile game. I actually wasn't aware of this one, but
Really?
there's a new update adds a lot of Pokemon trainers, different battle modes, and a lot of items. So just about everything gets added to in there. They're very well supportive of their games, including Pokemon Cafe Remix. That's a puzzle game on Switch and mobile. Again, not one that I was super familiar with, but this has a new update with a Pokemon Day event. This Pokemon Day is a recurring thing here. You're going to see that a bit, but this adds new puzzles, new Pokemon, new items, all of that kind of stuff. Just about every feature they could improve on. There's Pokemon Unite. That one's the MOBA game. I had a little bit of interest in this one, but my friends were way too good for me, so I didn't get into it. But they've added new types of battles. The Pokemon Day event again is gonna make an appearance. There'll be new items, different things to pick up. They're adding the Pokemon Hoopa and Duraludon. I'm not familiar with those ones. They must be from the latest generation. But we have Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl updates. There's a ton of new updates to the online front, including Oak's Letter. I'm not sure what that means, but it's some sort of item you can redeem in game. Pokemon Legends Arceus has the Daybreak update. It's already live, and there's no cost to it. It's just a free update. That is, well, just about everything you can pack into a Pokemon game again. And they also announced an animated series coming out online. Now, this is what has my interest. This is about the Arceus world. They didn't really go into any details, but they showed kind of what it would look like. And it's an anime style thing, but they're going to have more information on that shortly. But that leads us to the very biggest announcement in this whole, perhaps the reason this whole presentation happened. There's new Pokemon games coming out this year. Already, we're going to get another 2 mainline entry games. So Pokemon Arceus was a kind of a spin-off, an aside. This is a mainline Pokemon games, and those are Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So that's supposed to be really interesting coming in. There's a new 9th generation of Pokemon that's been announced with that. That was subject to a lot of debate in the days preceding this. So it's huge news if you're a Pokemon fan. And sure. I'm pulled right back in now due to Arceus. So I won't say any more. We do have a video coming out on that one if you're curious about Arceus.
Absolutely, yeah. You can head to InsideTheGame.ca, find Scott's review on that. That'll be out on Wednesday because we're holding back Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday because we have to hold back the show for another embargo.
Another large, yeah,
another one. So there's a little tease for that one. Scott, I have nothing to say. I'm not a Pokemon guy. I got nothing. But it sounds like you're pretty hyped. The new games excite you, obviously coming off of Arceus. I know how you feel about that. So,
well, they're advertising it more about being an open world, and it didn't show exactly the kind of combat. So it leads me to believe that this one's more like Arceus than it is the past generation.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's get into something I do know about. It's Valve has no plans for a Steam Pass, but would help Microsoft put Game Pass on Steam. This comes from Wes over at PC Gamer. It was a big moment for PC gaming. Microsoft stopped releasing its games exclusively through the Microsoft Store and started putting them on Steam. It wasn't every Microsoft game at first, but now it's gone that direction. Just 3 days ago, Bethesda announced it was dropping its own launcher and releasing everything on Steam going forward. But Microsoft also has Game Pass, a subscription service that's grown to millions of subscribers across Windows and Xbox. And those games notably still run out of its own app, not Steam. So let me see, yeah. I was going back here because he put I was like, what? When Wes spoke to Valve president Gabe Newell about the Steam Deck last week, he asked him if Valve is interested in its own subscription service or whether they would consider Game Pass games on Steam in the future. Quote, I don't think it's something that we think we need to do ourselves. Building a subscription service at this time, end quote, Newell said. Quote, but for their customers, it's clearly a popular option, and we'd be more than happy to work with them to get that on Steam, end quote. It sounds like we won't be seeing a Steam Pass subscription anytime soon, then, but the possibility at least exists with Game Pass. Scott, what do you think the chances are of bringing Game Pass over. We've heard rumbles of it making its way to the Switch. We have yet to see that happen at all. But
yeah, well,
will
it's a
they
couple
bring
years
it?
on now. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
I don't think so.
I have confidence it could make it to Steam. I've only used the Xbox app to launch games, so I'm really not aware of what's on Steam. Perhaps the Master Chief Collection, or something like that.
Yep.
Sea of Thieves, perhaps. But I think why not? If you want to do business in Steamtown, they'll more than happily take you in, I think, and because it means they get some sort of a cut. There has to be some sort of deal behind that.
Well, yeah, Steam's not going to just say, "Yeah, come on over" for nothing, right? They'll get their percentage of some sort, whatever that may look like. But Xbox is very user friendly, very company friendly, in the fact that they just want to be everywhere. So now with this little bit of news out there, I wonder if Phil Spencer goes, "I'm gonna go talk to Gabe now," and head over there and have lunch. And next thing you know, Game Pass is on Steam.
Next thing you know, they're buying Steam.
$100 billion, Scott.
Yeah, the first $1 trillion deal.
Oh man,
done.
Right?
Now Steam is available on the Xbox Series X.
Well, could you imagine? Well, so, but it does bring over the question of, is that something Xbox has even considered? Are they interested in that? And again, this would give them another leg up over what PlayStation's trying to build with their Steam library-esque, because right now there's very few PlayStation titles on the world of PC to start with. So now if you're going as a competitive nature, you have the upper hand already with Game Pass. Why don't you bring that over to a Steam service? Then here's the thing, Scott. Not already would you already have Xbox fans involved, right? Because we're all... Dude, I don't know anybody on the team that doesn't have Game Pass. Like, we all have it, right? So you just talk to so many people. It's just, you have Xbox Game Pass. Why wouldn't you? It makes so much sense, right? And we've talked to so many people that now have it because they've listened to the show or watched the show. Like, man, we had to get Game Pass because you guys talk about it all the time, and it's such a great service. Now imagine bringing that service over to the world of Steam. You know how many users are on Steam? Like, seriously, really. Dude, that's just a way to cash in a massive way with an audience that they have the ability to capture already with some of their titles, like Sea of Thieves is there, Master Chief Collection is there, right? They're bringing their games over there. But what if they just, instead of doing that, bring over Game Pass? So that way you get them back into your ecosystem. You get a whole consumer base, and a lot of the consumer base that you haven't really tapped into quite yet. But all of a sudden you offer up this service. Maybe they're up for that, because when you're on Steam, you don't really have a service, Scott. You just pay for the game, right? So maybe this gets them enticed in the world of Xbox, and maybe they pick up an Xbox in the future or something along that line, right? Like, there's so many opportunities here now for Xbox on the table that they have a huge opportunity to cash in on a massive, massive audience.
Oh, and this is the last frontier, it seems, for the console wars. We're in a new place of bringing the games to PC. Everybody's kind of trying to scramble that. Sure. We're into subscription wars now, so this would be the time to take that first step, establish a beachhead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's there's definitely an opportunity there for Xbox to do something. We'll see what happens, if it happens at all. If we hear something in the next month, maybe. I think we would hear some kind of rumblings if this does entice Xbox over there and Phil Spencer and the team to kind of go, maybe we should go talk to Gabe. But we'll see what happens. What we did see happen over the weekend, though, Scott, was Greg Miller had a harsh word, one particular word, for Bobby Kotick of Activision Blizzard at the annual DICE Awards. And you know what? Good on him.
That took some guts, really, to do.
It did.
And he had a very strong message, and then he kind of reiterated himself. And I feel like that was maybe not what I would have done, but I'm certainly, you love to see it.
Absolutely. And he got an applause for it too. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just crickets, Scott, when he dropped it. So it's one of those things. But let's get back into the world of Valve once more, as Valve is releasing a new game set in the Portal universe. Scott, did you ever think we'd see this?
You know, I'm really still hoping for Half-Life 3, but this is, if they just throw in anything in that universe, I'll happily eat it up.
This comes
Alex 2, I'm down.
Oh yeah, there you go. This comes from Christopher over at PC Gamer. No, it's not Portal 3, but it is set in the same universe. Aperture Desk Job is a free, quote, short game designed for the Steam Deck that teaches you how to use the new device, releasing March 1st.
Okay.
It looks like they basically, dude, this is a tech demo to instruct you how to play this. This is like Astrobot coming in the world of VR, right? Or they had VR Worlds. They kind of show you the rundown of, you know, here's how you use this. Okay, Astrobot Rescue Mission, that's what it was, came with PlayStation 5, and it showed you how to use the controller, right?
So that was the one that had a bunch of like trophies and a bunch of callbacks to older games.
Absolutely.
I think I've seen a lot of that.
You blow on the controller and you tilt the controller and you play with the feedback and all this other stuff, right? So it kind of gives you the low of the land of, here, this is what you're getting involved in. This is what you're going to be, look for this feature, or maybe present yourself with that feature. This is Steam Deck's way of doing that. Dude, I'm still interested in Steam. The Steam Deck, and I hear it's only got a battery life of about 2 hours.
Oh no!
Oh yeah,
that's a huge fault there.
Oh man,
that's got to be the most important part of a handheld system.
Absolutely, no, for sure. I'm So I'm like, maybe if I wait a little bit longer, Scott, they will fix that battery issue. But yeah, I know you can tweak the settings, but
maybe an aftermarket company will fill that void too.
Somebody's got to be working on it, right? You would think somebody's got something in development right now going, hey, we can fix that for another $200. Here's your battery pack. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Scott, let's get into something I saw today that I was a little disappointed in. EA stepping down as publisher of Knox City, which is going to be free to play. Belland Studios will take over publishing duties this spring. It comes from Stephanie over at VG247. Knockout Studio, Belland Studio, has announced it will be self-publishing the game once year 2 starts. The game is also switching to free-to-play model this spring, which was surprisingly, Scott, I already thought it was a free-to-play game.
Yeah, I had played it already. Maybe it was through Game Pass or
That's exactly
EA
how
Play.
it was. Yes.
Oh, okay, because I was thinking, well, what's the difference? And I'm still not really sure what the the publisher does after the game's already out. I'm not really familiar with what that means.
The game is also switching to free-to-play model this spring, which the studio said the natural next step. Scott, I'm joking. For it to take time over publishing responsibilities and to work even more closely with the community. Until the game goes free to play, you will still need an EA account to play. And your data will be processed in line with EA's privacy and cookie policy. Quote, we have exciting plans for Knockout City, and bringing publishing in-house will allow us to fully realize our vision for the long-term future of the game, end quote, said the studio. Quote, there's so much to look forward to because this is just the beginning, end quote. So here's the thing, Scott. Publishing with EA, I think, gave Knockout City the opportunity to be showcased, right? It gave them the funding that they needed to get out there to present themselves, to say, hey, look at our game. This is what you're going to get. And then it comes with a bit of a backing, right? But it also comes with some restrictions sometimes. And we've seen what EA can do sometimes to these studios. I'm curious now moving free to play. Like, I honestly think they should have went with Epic if they're, you know what I mean? If they had an opportunity to do that, I think Epic would have let them maybe do a little bit more in their own scope and grand scheme of things. But they're going on their own. Can they survive, Scott?
That might not have put it in front of everybody in a console space, though, and that's
for sure
a huge amount of people everybody that I know who's played it has been on Xbox. So maybe that had something to do with it. It's certainly a sweet deal if you get in front of 20 million people. How many users do you think there are on Game Pass right now?
I think they're up to around 20 to 25 million users right now. So
holy, that's a lot of games of this silly dodgeball variant. I really like that game. By the way, it's
cool. It is
Knockout
cool.
City is really fun. If we do some more game on segments, I want to get the team together.
Yeah, we should be down for that. But Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube and Inside the Game Official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.